Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I'm back today with some more updates on the EIDL grants and loans. I want to offer some more clarity around the hazard insurance that I announced here yesterday on the channel because I'm still getting a lot of questions on that. And I want to give you some tips on how to prevent your bank from freezing if a large ACH transfer comes across. And finally, we're going to go through a walkthrough of the timeline of the loan increase process because, man, so many of you out there are frustrated still waiting in the queue. So we're going to talk about all that and more. Okay, so share this video with everybody that you know that's inside the EIDL grant or loan program because there's a lot of great information contained inside. So let's get you all caught up. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I have a great lineup on the EIDL grants and the loans today. Give you that more clarity on the hazard insurance. I still get a lot of questions about that. I'm going to head through some general announcements and give you some tips on how to stop your bank account from freezing because it's happening right now and it's even happening to the big banks. So we're going to talk about all that and more. And then last, I want to update you on that timeline, give you a little start to finish because I get asked every day, are individuals right now getting approved and funded? Is the money arriving with the people for the loan increases? And the answer is yes, absolutely. I get messages each and every day on my Instagram that people are celebrating that they got their loan increases. Okay, so yes, it is happening. It does take some time, so we're going to talk through the start to finish of this all, okay? And by the way, if you have not yet met me, I am Edward Bilder. I typically post finance videos on how to fill your pockets, generating wealth strategies from nothing, starting out with practically $0 and building yourselves a nice portfolio, okay, where you could sleep and earn passive income. And right now, I post big videos on EIDL, PPP, and all the stimulus programs because there's a lot of small businesses out there that are stuck in situations, and we're trying to help out everybody here on the channel, all right? So I want to start out by introducing some of those few general announcements on the grants and loans. I want to talk about bank accounts that are not accepting ACH transfers. These are like your app banks and like your Chime banks. Chime Bank is definitely not accepting ACH transfers. That will be rejected. Okay, so if you are using Chime Bank and you're expecting a loan increase, a $10,000 targeted advance grant, or a $5,000 supplemental grant, you will need to change this. You can find the steps right now in the description to get this thing changed, okay? Now, there are some other banks out there that are also app banks, like Cash App banks, that are also rejecting these. Now, I'm hearing this like 50-50. Some people are saying like Sutton Bank is taking them, and others are saying they're not. Now, I don't know if people are confusing it from what happened in 2020 when they got their original EIDL loans, but as of 2021, there are new rules around all of these app banks, and you will see yourself getting rejected. So check with your bank and make sure that they are taking the ACH transfers if you could get anybody on the phone from one of these app banks. I know it's a little difficult to do that, all right? Now, I am hearing these crazy reports that like US Bank, Chase Bank, Wells Fargo, and credit unions and all of these big banks that you would not expect to be freezing accounts, they are freezing accounts, okay? It's being flagged as fraud, and what is actually happening is a sudden transfer shows up that is far greater than your typical transactions that occur in the bank. So if you're typically dealing in the thousands of dollars where you're depositing and debiting like $1,000 at a time, maybe even up to $5,000 at a time, maybe even up to $10,000 at a time, and all of a sudden this massive payment shows up in an ACH transfer, it will be flagged as fraud. And right now, since the loan increase amounts have gone up to $500,000, $500,000, you could see a really large amount of money show up in your bank account one day, and that is being flagged as fraud. Okay, so here's what I recommend you do. If you typically transact below 5,000, I'm going to just say below $5,000 because we know the supplemental grant is $5,000, the targeted is $10,000, and then you could go up to $500,000 inside of EIDL. So if you're below $5,000, call your bank and inform them ahead of time that there may be a very large ACH transfer coming through from the SBA. Tell them that you're in the program. Ask them what they need to do inside their system because the majority of these big banks can put the alert in the system to allow and accept the ACH transfer as long as they know ahead of time. If it shows up one day and it's a surprise, it will get held. Your bank will be frozen and you won't be able to transact until this whole thing is cleared up. And in some cases, that money will go back to the SBA, and that's an even bigger problem because it takes much more delay, much more time, much more involvement between you and the SBA to get that money to come back to you. Okay, so alert your bank ahead of time. It's very important. So basically, just call and reach out to your bank and let them know that there's a big transfer on the way and see how they could get that into their system to allow it to happen. All right. Now, I have another general announcement on the scammers that are out there. This is a big one because I had that video over the weekend titled "Comment Scammers." Okay, this is a bit ridiculous because what they're doing now is they are looking you up on Instagram. So they're finding you in comments on these channels, seeing if they could find your Instagram account. Maybe you have the same exact names. All right, so they look you up on Instagram, see if the pictures match, and they are calling you through Instagram now, acting as if they are the SBA. All right, be highly, highly aware of this one because they're asking for sensitive information. They're letting you know that they could correct any of these problems that you're having. They're gonna charge you a fee, all right, of $300 or whatever the fee may be. They may even ask for more money at that point. So be very, very suspicious of anybody from Instagram acting like they're the SBA trying to notify you of some kind of problem with your EIDL loan increase or your grants. All right. Trust the .govs only, right? So if you get SBA.gov, that's a trusted source. All right. Stay away from all this Instagram stuff. Okay, I'm going to shift over to some clarity on the hazard insurance for the home-based businesses because I said yesterday in the videos that this is for all the Uber drivers and the Lyft drivers and the Doordash and Instacart workers. And so the home-based business owners kind of just shut their ears off. So this is for home-based business owners. This means that yes, you can be an Uber driver or a Lyft driver or a Doordash or an Instacart worker, but this also means if you are filing your taxes from your home, right? So if you have a Schedule C or even if you're using an LLC and you attach that LLC to your taxes, your personal taxes, and it has your home address on it because you don't necessarily have a brick and mortar out there with an address, technically you are a home-based business, okay? Wherever your taxes are filed from, if everything is on those taxes, you are part of that home-based business, all right? So I hope that clears up the clarity here because I got a lot of questions after the fact that they're like, I'm not an Uber driver, Lyft driver, but I do work out of my home. So what kind of insurances do I use? And the answer is still the same. You would use your renter's insurance or homeowner's insurance. So your renter's insurance if you're renting a home, obviously, and homeowner's insurance if you own the home. Okay, you don't necessarily have to look for commercial insurance. That doesn't mean that I'm not suggesting to get commercial insurance. Based on whatever type of businesses you're running, you may need that commercial insurance. I don't know, maybe you're like a therapist or something, or you're, doing something, I don't know, that you need commercial insurance for, okay? So don't disregard the commercial insurance just because you're a home-based business. I'm talking to the individuals out there who don't necessarily have any commercial insurance, who are trying to figure out how to get this thing done. The renter's insurance and the homeowner's insurance is the path, all right? And this is for everybody who is seeking the EIDL loan increase greater than $25,000 because once you cross that $25,000, now you have to provide collateral and hazard insurance for that collateral, okay? So just to clear that up as well, all right? So let me know in the comments if your loan officer is asking for any other different types of hazard insurance that are outside of the standard ones that I just talked about here. Let me know in the comments. I'm getting some feedback where they're trying to figure out how Uber drivers can add their car insurance into this whole mix, all right? And so let me know in the comments if you're getting any feedback like that, okay? And don't forget to stop by the description right now. Grab yourself some free stuff. You can grab free stocks, free crypto, and free sign-on bonuses under my free stuff section in the description. And I'm telling you, if you check out Webull right now, I get each and every month $2,000 worth of free stocks by recommending Webull to my friends, all right? It's free. All the stocks come to me for free, and I can either keep those stocks, trade those stocks in, or cash those stocks and take my money elsewhere, okay? Literally $2,000 every month by clicking 2 buttons. So check out Webull in the description. And if you guys are looking to expand your businesses and get into different revenue streams, especially those that are passive, you could check out right now my crash course on Airbnb found in the description where you can get yourself into the real estate game. You don't have to own the real estate to do this, and you can start with $50 in your pocket and turn that into an extra $5,000 to $10,000 cash flowing in 3 days. All right. So check out my crash course on Airbnb found in the description. I know it's probably blown your mind that I even said that you could be cash flowing in 3 days from $50, earning an extra $5,000 to $10,000 each and every month. I do this all the time, and I just keep expanding it and expanding it. Okay, so every time I expand it, I multiply it by $5,000 to $10,000 each and every month. All right, so think about that. Check out my Airbnb crash course found in the description. I'm actually filming this video pretty late because it's about 2 a.m. because tomorrow I am traveling to West Virginia. I'm headed out to Morgantown, West Virginia. Really excited to get out there, but I spent my whole day with my B&B staff making sure they're prepared for next week, because next week starts my summer season, and yes, it really picks up in the summer. So check out my Airbnb crash course found in the description. You could be doing this too. Okay, let's talk about the timeline for the loan increases. And I'm going to paint this picture for you as if this was a perfect scenario, okay? Now, I know with the SBA, it's never really a perfect scenario because right now there's a lot of glitchiness happening. There's a lot of confusion for individuals who've applied for loan increases previous to this new loan increase, and they're already over with the reconsideration teams. There's a lot of this back and forth that's not really up front when the overall program was announced, okay? So if you are in a perfect scenario, this is the basic and general timeline. If you are outside of the scenario and you're stuck in the reconsideration process, or you've gotten yourself denials in the past, your application will be in a different department, and that timeline is a bit different. Okay, you can almost add on 3 to 4 weeks if it's in that other process. But perfect scenario, if you had that blue button and you've gone through the process of submitting all of your documentation, expect within a week to 2 weeks to get a phone call from a loan officer. Now, most of the time they're calling, but they are also emailing. And when they email you, they're asking you for additional verification methods. They might ask you for your driver's license. They might ask you for your business license. If you're registered as like an LLC or a corp, they will ask you for the minutes from the most recent board meeting that indicates that you are the authorized party to apply for this loan and accept the funds, basically to sign and accept the funds. All right, so you're going to need to hold one of those board meetings and basically document the whole thing and send it off to the SBA, all right, because they're looking for it. And the loan officers right now, they're a bit old school, okay, because they're not really adapted right now to the gig economy. So all these Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, Doordash, right? This is very new to the SBA. So some of them are asking some really wild questions that are just straight up NAs, all right? It's not applicable to you. Like if you're an Uber driver, they're asking if you have like a business license, right? Or some loan officers are even going as far as suggesting for your hazard insurance, if you go through the renter's insurance process, they're asking you to put your car onto your renter's insurance. I'm shaking my head over some of these comments I'm actually getting from the viewers, but you can't actually do that. Renter's insurance and car insurance, they don't go hand in hand, all right? So your car insurance is your hazard insurance for Uber, Lyft drivers, but you will need your renter's insurance as well for more hazard insurance for that rest of that collateral, okay? So you're going to need both of those things to submit, all right? But once you've submitted all of that documentation, once it's all submitted, it will go through the underwriting process and a legal review. And many of you are saying, why is it in a legal review? It's just a standard process. It has to go through a legal review for all that hazard insurance. Once that is done, you will then receive the decision whether you are approved or denied. And within a few days, your funding will arrive. This whole process right now is averaging about 8 weeks of time, okay? Approximately 8 weeks of time. Now, there are some individuals that applied on April 6th, right around the time frame when that $500,000 opened up, and they are just now getting funded. So some of them are in like a bit of a fast lane, getting it done in about 6 weeks time, but the majority of everybody out there that I'm talking to, it's happening within 8 weeks time, all right? So I know it is a terrible feeling because every time you check your portal, you're just sitting there staring at that modification in process for your loan request. It's got to drive you nuts, but be patient. It will take about 8 weeks. They just have a lot of applications that they're processing right now, okay? So all of that happening at the SBA right now, it's got to be like chaos over there, okay? That's going to do it for today, folks. If you need further assistance outside my free content found right here on YouTube, you can find me pinned in the top comment for a one-on-one consultation. Just click the link and you can set up a phone call with me. Avoid all those scammers in the comments. You guys are doing a great job at blocking them, so I appreciate all your help here. That's going to do it for today, folks. I wish you all the best, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.